It's Dave from ThinkOutsideTheSlide.com. In this tutorial, I want to show you how you can take an image of a website and then be able to pan around it within PowerPoint. And I'm just using a Microsoft website. This is actually the page on answers.microsoft.com that talks about questions that people have about PowerPoint. So I'm in the Edge browser, and this works best in the Edge browser because one of the features it has is to capture this entire web page as an image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in for you here so you can see where I am. So in the Edge browser, I'm going to go to the three dots and I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to go down until it says Web Capture. Now you notice there's a shortcut key, Control-Shift-S, so that works as well. So I'm going to hit I'm going to hit Web Capture here. And you notice that, I'll zoom in again so you can see this. You notice I have two options here, Capture Area or Capture Full Page. So the capture area, I would just use the crosshairs cursor and I would draw a rectangle around what I wanted to capture. Or what I can do is I can say capture full page. It does that, and now it opens up a window, which is the web capture window. So it's showing you, hey, here's the image I captured. And on the far right side, there's a button here that says copy. So when I click on that, it copies this image to the Windows clipboard. Then I'll go over to PowerPoint, and in PowerPoint, I'll simply Control-V, paste, and you'll notice it pastes this very, very long, skinny image into the slide. And now you might be going, Dave, there's no way anybody's going to see that. That's okay, because what we're going to do now is we're going to be able to show people, hey, here's, for context, here's the whole web page. And I think this is important. You need to give your audience context first. So showing them the whole web page, even though they have no chance to read it, I think is actually okay. Because we can say, hey, here's the whole web page. Now, let's zoom in and take a look at the top of the web page. Now, how do we do that? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the slide, and I'm going to press Control-D to duplicate it. Notice it just duplicates the slide. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the image and I'm going to resize it. So what I want to do is I want to make it not maybe quite as wide as the slide, but almost as wide as the slide using one of the corner handles. So if I want to use the top corner handle, for example, I could do that. And this gets a little unwieldy. So let me undo. So if you're used to sizing images simply by grabbing a corner handle, this sort of an image where it's really, really tall, you're going to run into problems because it quickly gets off of the area that you can actually see. So what I'm going to suggest you do is before you start resizing is to go to the picture format ribbon, and on the right hand side here, let me zoom in so you can see it, go to the crop button. So click on the crop button, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the bottom handle, so just the bottom in the middle, not the corners, just the bottom in the middle, and I'm going to make this a lot less tall. So now I'll click on crop to stop that. Now I can resize it and I don't lose what I can actually see. Now often you're going to resize it and you'll say, gee, you know what, maybe I want to show some more down at the bottom. Maybe this is now really not too tall at all. So what you could do is you could go back to the crop and you could extend the bottom here maybe a little so that people can see more. Now what I've done is I've been able to show people this zoomed in. Now they can easily read it. But how do we make this look like it's going to really give them context first, but keep that context when we go to this zoomed in version? That's where we use a feature in Microsoft transition called Morph. So I'm going to go to the transitions ribbon here, and on the transitions ribbon, it's usually the first item here called Morph. And you'll notice when we take a look at it, it says, how does this work? Well, it moves things on the previous slide to their new locations on the current slide. To get the best results, duplicate a slide, move things around, apply the Morph transition. That's exactly what we've done. So I'm going to click on Morph and you're going to see it preview it. Notice how it nice and smoothly zooms in just that top, so you don't lose context because you can see, oh, okay, we're going into that top section. Now, when I want to move, let's say, to the next section down below, so people can see, okay, here was the top, what's the next part? Then what I can do is I can, again, duplicate the slide. So I'll click on the slide, press the Control D to duplicate. And now what I can do is I can select the image. I'll go back to my picture format ribbon and the crop. But in the crop now, instead of trying to drag the bottom handle and the top handle to get that sort of to line up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the Shift key down and I'm going to grab the image and I'm going to drag it vertically up. When you hold the Shift key down, what it does is it only moves whatever you're moving in a vertical or horizontal direction. So I have simply moved the spot, the area of the website I want to show into that, for lack of a better word, visible window. Now I can close the cropping, and I don't need to apply the morph transition because by duplicating the slide, when I go to transitions here, you'll notice morph is already selected. So how does this work in a presentation? Well, let me go back to the first slide and I'll go into reading view here. And I can say now, this particular website, here's the whole thing so you can see it's very long. Let's zoom in and take a look at that first section. Now, in the first section we see whatever discussion we want to make. Now, when you go further down below, here's what we see. And we can talk about that. And so what this does is it gives you the ability to give your audience context first by showing the entire web page, and then be able to zoom in and pan through the different sections of the website that are important for you to discuss with them. Now, it doesn't have to be adjacent sections. It could be one at the top and one at the bottom, however it makes sense for the message you're trying to communicate. So next time you have to show a web page in a presentation, consider this technique of capturing the entire web page in the Edge browser, inserting it onto a PowerPoint slide, and then using what I've shown you in this tutorial to zoom in and pan around the website for your audience. This video is an example of the practical advice that I share in my live in-person or virtual workshops that help teams create more effective presentations in less time. If that's of interest to you, get in touch. If you found the information in this video helpful, here are some other videos I think you'll enjoy. Thanks for watching.